Black on Fire Radio, and you're listening to Unsafe. That's it. How long will it take you to relax? I don't know what to run to right now. I'm in the fire. I'm safe, I'm sick out there. What are we doing, my dear? I surrender you myself. My hands are in the air. Only time ways at a different style. What is the reason you do not have your own place of mind? Are you okay for now? Are you doing it to survive? Are you taking the pictures of every memories of your life? What's the reason why you're still out here? Take a look and give me one that's happening for you. Make a nigga suit and tie like them fly like you. So you don't know you try and tie my shoes. Is that you? What are we doing, my dear? I surrender you myself. My eyes are in the air. Only time ways at a different style. What is the reason you do not have your own place of mind? Are you okay for now? Are you doing this thing to survive? Are you taking the pictures of every memories of your life? What's the reason why you're still out there?
Yes, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all those who are just joining us. Karibuni sana to another episode of the Wellness Wednesday. It has been a minute since we did the Wellness Wednesday, but I feel like today we deserve to listen to some wellness things, or rather to some wellness knowledge. But anyway, Karibuni sana once again. My name is Katie, and I hope you're doing great on this wonderful Wednesday afternoon. It is exactly 15 minutes to 3 p.m. right here in Nairobi. You can as well let me know what is the time on your end, how are you doing today, and also what is the weather on your end. We started off with an amazing jam done by Omalay, and the jam is the reason. I hope you did get to jam and to eat as we're getting started with our conversation of the day. Shout out to all those who are with me on Facebook, shout out to all those who are with me on YouTube, and to all those who are with me on the other YouTube channel. Karibuni sana once again. I hope you're doing great, and I hope you are well, and I hope we are going to enjoy this amazing show together. So on today's episode, I want us to talk about unsafe abortions right here in the 254. And I remember in our constitution that was revised in 2010, we had the constitution giving legal ambiguity to Kenyans about the abortion, and we shall be checking on that, and how has this led to people now seeking unsafe abortions. And also, do you think that abortion should be legal no matter the circumstance? Because I believe in some circumstances you are allowed to abort your babies. For example, if now you are in a crisis where you have to lose your life, or the baby has to lose their life, I believe in such cases the doctor has to advise you for an abortion. Sometimes people get pregnant to some circumstances that are avoidable and are not avoidable, such as rape, incest, and sometimes the only thing you can do is abort the baby. But we shall be talking about that, and also you shall be letting me know, do you think that abortion should be legal? And more of that, we shall be talking about other different matters coming from the 254. And of course, this is about our president. When I talk about the 254, it is always about our president. So there's a video going all around about a Kenyan president who is like trying to sell off African countries to the Europeans. So we shall be talking about that as well. And there's a video I have to share with you right now, so that we can get to the now conversation of the day, because this video is long. Also, the conversation of the day shall be emphasized than I shall be doing with a video and getting to talk about abortions and what are legal abortions and what should be illegal about the abortions. But anyway, do let me know what you think about the matter. Do let me know what is your take about abortions, and also, do you think that abortions require legal ambiguity? We're going back to one more jam. I'll be back with our quote of the day, and in case you have a quote of the day, please make sure you share with us, and remember to keep it interactive with me right here. This is Rema, the jam is woman. Get to jam onto it, and remember to keep it interactive with me.
Greetings and salutations, Master Hughes Andrew Robinson, all the way in Switzerland. And you're tuning into the Black Hot Fire Radio. And you're listening to the African Diary Show with Nash. That's it. I get one with be my sponsor. I get one with they call me honey. One way they do me witchy witchy. She they do like vision so Wale, color. Get in my room, make you like body they move like a python. See me, Wale, color. After the room to the palace, then make you post on my phone. They will see my iron. I too like woman. I too like woman. Me I not the bomb. Me I not the bomb. I too like woman.
My quote of the day says, if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. If it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you.
I too like woman. Me I not the bomb. Me I not the bomb. Follow it, oh it goes, follow it, oh it goes. Give me one major, ja one, ja two, ja three. Follow it,
Follow it,
oh it goes.
give me
one major.
Yes, without wasting less of the time we have right here, I want us to get straight into the matters of the day. And the first video I promised to share with you is about President Ruto, and the conversation he's having right here. He's talking about our minerals right here in the African continent. And the title of this video is Kenyan President Ruto is trying to sell Africa to the Europeans, and of which we know very well he is trying to do so. But anyway, let's get to this video as we continue with our show for today, and also as you continue letting me know what you think about this. Do you think that he is really trying to sell off our countries, or do you think that he is doing what is right? I definitely know what your thoughts are, but you can as well add something on it.
Transcending all divides, north, south, east, west, developed or developing.
Welcome to Candid Africa, truthful and unapologetic.
Africa currently mines 25% of the world's bauxite, yet exports almost all of it in raw material. If Africa's renewable energy potential were deployed to smelt currently mined bauxite into aluminum, we could save millions of tons of CO2 equivalent and generate hundreds of thousands of jobs in our continent. And aluminum is just one example of many. Mm-hmm. Green steel is another. Mm-hmm. Not to mention Africa's significant global deposits of critical minerals, or our potential to produce sustainable fuels. By tapping into these resources and employing green technologies, Africa can contribute significantly to global decarbonization efforts while boosting its own economic development, creating a win-win scenario for both the continent and the world, while Africa, as a source of raw materials and market for finished products, contributed to Europe's industrialization. There has been tremendous growth in technology.
Do you think there has been tremendous growth in technology in Africa? Because if you look at African countries, look, for example, at Kenya, look at Uganda. We were talking about Uganda getting $150 million from the Chinese or from China to try and improve their internet. So look at industrial development, look at technological development. Do you think there's any we can spot in Africa and say, do you know that this we're developing because of the raw materials we're exporting to the European countries? But anyway, let's continue with our video.
And capital. It is, ladies and gentlemen, I request, it is the turn for Europe to deploy their technologies and capital to now unlock the huge green energy resources to drive green industrialization using the natural resource endowments in the continent, global green products and services, create jobs, and at the same time, decarbonize Europe and global growth. Indeed, I could devote much more time to unfolding the vast richness of our continent. Yet, the path to realizing Africa's full potential is paved with significant challenges. Let's consider some sobering facts. In the last 2 decades, global investments in renewable energy soared to an impressive $3 trillion US. But only a fraction of this, $60 billion US, or just 2%, found its way to Africa, despite our enormous potential and urgent energy needs.
How sure are we that this money was not given to you and then you misused it, or you put it in your pocket? But anyway, we continue.
A critical obstacle in this journey is the prohibitive high cost of capital. Private investors are demanding high premiums, in great part on perceived risks. Consequently, we are burdened with borrowing costs at least 5 times higher than those of advanced economies, creating a vicious cycle of debt. This disparity not only...
But guys, he's talking about a vicious cycle of debt, of which is the one trying to indebt Africans. If you look at Kenya right now, we received a huge amount of money from the IMF. We also received a huge amount of money from the World Bank. Look at this money. Where is it going to? We were not told that this money is supposed to do this and this in the country. We were not shown anything that this money was supposed to do. But they are saying that we're supposed to be repaying the loans to the Chinese, or the debt we owe the Chinese by December, of which is starting this week on Friday. So are you telling me that you're taking money, you're taking loans, these vicious loans you're talking about and vicious debts you're talking about, are you taking them to start paying other debts? This doesn't make sense, because you're the one putting people indebted. In case you're talking about Africa being indebted, you're the huge contributor, or your number one contributor of Africa being indebted. A country like Kenya, a very good example. You've been taking loans, you've been piling up loans, but you're not even indicating where this money is going to. But you're always telling us by December we shall be able to start paying our debt. But are we seeing this happening, or are we going to see this happening, or are we going to now take and pile up debts or loans while we continue to paying for loans? Are we going to be in a cycle where we are paying the rates? And this is slavery, because you're not benefiting from this money. You took a loan, now you have to pay it's double or thrice the amount you took, and at the end of the day, this is not benefiting your country. But anyway, we continue.
It hinders our progress, but also makes any meaningful development financing unattainable. This situation is indefensible, both morally and economically, and changing it is possible. Changing it is possible, but it requires our collective will and resourcefulness. Above all, it requires new forms of cooperation that are based on mutually beneficial strategies. Europe has been an ally and a partner to Africa for many years.
Are we sure about this? Are you sure that these people have been our allies? Are you sure they have been partners with us? Because I don't see any partnership. These countries, if you look at European countries, most of them are so developed. You cannot compare them to Africa. But now, why are you saying we have been partners, we have been allies, while they are the only ones gaining from whatever we have been doing? If it's the trade, they are the ones getting a lot, because you cannot compare Kenya to such European countries, because Kenya is less developed compared to such countries, but you are calling those people partners. You know, this is not your partner, because at the end of the day, a partner is the one you're sure that this money came from this, and the way this country is developing, it's because they are making sales, they are getting a lot of money. But look at Africa. Why is Africa underdeveloped? Because that is their goal, to make sure that we are underdeveloped, and this is why we can never be partners with such people, because all they think it's about themselves. But anyway, we get to continue with our video. I'm trying to rush with the video so that we get a chance to talk about the abortion, and as you guys keep on letting me know, do you think that abortion should be legalized, or do you think that there should be legal ambiguity in the constitution? Because in some cases, remember, we have cases that are not preventable. Some cases, a woman might be advised to abort a baby because of unavoidable circumstances. But anyway, before we get to that, let's continue with this video so that we can come back to that later. But you can keep down your comments. I'll go through them as we continue with our show for today.
Seeing a broad spectrum of initiatives that are very important for our continent, from economic cooperation that fosters trade and investment, to the vital steps taken in energy and climate change through initiatives like the Africa-EU Energy Partnership, and we are making very steady progress in that direction. Our collective efforts in peace and security, notably supported by the African Peace Facility, have been influential in promoting stability across the continent. In education and research, programs like Erasmus Plus have opened new horizons for our youth, while joint efforts in health have underscored the importance of robust health systems. We are working together on migration management, focusing on issues such as combating human trafficking and addressing the root cause of irregular migration. And initiatives such as the Global Gateway have the possibility to open new avenues for cooperation. But we can, and we must do more. Above all, we must remain alert to the risk of conflict, as tensions and disagreements can escalate rapidly with far-reaching and costly consequences. The conflict in the heart of Europe, something unimaginable in the 21st century, underscores this reality. In the face of such challenges, the role of Kenya as a stable democracy and an anchor state for peace and security in the region becomes increasingly significant. As the Africa Union mission in Somalia is concluding, Kenya as a frontline state will continue our support and collaboration with the government in Somalia to fight against terrorism. This ongoing commitment is crucial for maintaining regional stability, and we count on the EU bilateral support for our efforts in this regard. In another part of the world, the situation in Haiti highlights the global nature of security challenges. Grounded in United Nations resolutions.
Yes, let's talk about that. We have so many African countries suffering from terrorism attacks, terrorist attacks. We have so many countries who are looking for people to help them curb insecurity, but you only send aid where it's not needed. Why are you doing that, Mr. Ruto? We have DRC Congo. We have Congo. We have disturbed people in Congo because of terrorism, insecurity, and safety in that region. But nobody is willing to send aid. Nobody. We also have a country like right now we are seeing people being killed in Mali. We have people being killed in Burkina Faso. But why are you not sending aid over there where we really know that those people are crying for our help? Why are you not sending aid in Sudan while we really know that these people need our aid? But you can only send aid to where people don't want you to send their aid, because we remember very well in Haiti, people were demonstrating, the civilians were demonstrating and saying that they don't want the Kenyan troops over there. And why, you have to ask yourself, why is this a UN sponsored mission? Because we know what we know. Why is it a UN sponsored mission? Because if it's about bringing safety and unity and also ending terrorism, I believe this should be an African mission to bring unity to our African brothers and sisters. But why is it that now this mission is biased? You cannot send your troops to wherever there's war in Sudan. You cannot send your troops to send aid. You cannot send even aid to people who are dying in Sudan, in Congo, in some parts of Burkina Faso and Mali, but you can send aid where they don't need us. Anyway, it is so crazy because this is not a very good mission. It is not a mission to bring safety to the people of Haiti. We already know the mission, and whenever we hear UN-backed mission, we already know what's going on there. But anyway, let's get to continue with our video as you get to let me know what you think about this.
Multinational security support mission will need some 5,000 men and women to address the challenge posed by armed gangs, estimated to be around 9,000. Currently, about 8 countries, including Kenya, are willing to contribute their forces to Haiti, but there is a clear need for assurance of international support. The support from the EU will be instrumental in bolstering the initiative, providing the necessary resources, including legitimacy. Madam President, members of this great august House, fostering long-term peace and stability goes hand in hand with building sustainable economic foundations. And Africa is mapping out the road for green industrialization and prosperity so that it can play its rightful role in shaping a better future for all. In this endeavor, the partnership with Europe and Africa must embody a reciprocal relationship grounded in shared objectives and cooperative effort. This synergy has the power to drive transformative results for both continents. Concrete actionable steps are the key to realizing this mutually beneficial vision. Firstly, Africa's journey to become a green industrial powerhouse needs the right type and amount of capital, especially in renewable energy and infrastructure. Such investment could catapult Africa to a future where energy access is universal by 2030, simultaneously slashing emissions from energy generation in Africa by 80%. Secondly, there is a necessary complement to capital: market access. In fact, one of the biggest contributions that EU can make to both addressing poverty in Africa and achieving global climate goals is through its demand for green products and services, including for carbon credits.
There we have it. That has been our candid speech for today. Please.
Okay, that's the video I wanted to share with you as we get to the next one, or as we get to the main conversation of the day. And this is about Kenyans seeking unsafe abortions. And this is about now the Wellness Wednesday. And I told you it's been a minute since we talked about, or we did a Wellness Wednesday show. So I want us to talk about abortions, not only in Kenya, because abortions should not be legal. No matter, sometimes people tend to fool themselves about the age and everything, but abortions should not be legal. The only circumstance at which I believe abortions should be legal, because we have the women who are like I will grow or I will give birth to hate this child. There's no need of that. So whenever a woman is raped, I believe there should be options of keeping the baby, or maybe aborting the baby, or maybe giving the baby to an adoption, maybe family, or adopting family. But in Kenya, there was a legal ambiguity that was given in 2010. This is during our revised constitution that was revised in 2010, and right now women are going backstreet clinics amid legal ambiguity. I want to share a video with you right here, and the legal ambiguity over abortions in Kenya is pushing thousands of women to turn to backstreet clinics. BBC Africa Eye explores how abortion is shrouded in stigma and misinformation. Edith is lying on a bed covered in old newspaper in a backstreet clinic in Nairobi. Her legs are held high in the stirrups while a man in a white medical coat explains that he is about to put some medicine inside her uterus. A red bucket of bleach containing medical instruments sits on the floor. The mom of three, whose name has been changed to protect her identity, is 4 months pregnant and is about to have an abortion. I had to terminate because I had to go back to work, and I have another small baby, she later tells the BBC Africa. And abortion is a complicated issue in Kenya. The penal code, which has its origin in the colonial era, outlaws abortion, criminalizing the woman, the person who carries out the abortion, and the person who supplies the material are required. However, in 2010, or the 2010 constitution combined with a wider body of law that does allow abortion when the life or health of the mother is in danger, or when the pregnancy has resulted from rape or incest. And this is what I was talking about. Edith discovered she was HIV positive a few years ago. Her partner, after refusing to get tested himself, later left her. A lawyer told the BBC that having a child while living with HIV meant her physical well-being is probably in danger. This, as well as other factors, meant that Edith may have qualified for a legal abortion. But she left. She felt the backstreet clinic was her only choice. And why is this happening? Remember, this woman has no choice. Her life is in danger. At this point, she qualifies for a legal abortion. But at this point, she's not able to afford a legal abortion. And remember, a legal abortion is where you go to a non-hospital, maybe a private institute, because I don't believe we have public offices or public hospitals where they still offer legal abortions. You have to pay from 30,000 Kenyan shillings for a legal abortion. And this is why this woman is turning to an unsafe abortion, because she has no option. She has no money, and she has to do it. Her life is in danger if she keeps the baby. But anyway, I have a video to share with you right here. Let me share my screen real quick so that we continue with our topic of the day. And also, you guys, tell me, under which other circumstances do you think that now a woman can go through a legal abortion? Under which circumstances? Because right here, we have people who qualifies for a legal abortion. These people, one, a woman might have been raped, and this baby or this pregnancy is a result of a rape. And she doesn't want to keep it. So she has to look for ways of aborting it. And what happens? Maybe this woman is not well financially. She has to go to those backstreet clinics. And this is how so many of young women, so many of young Africans lose their lives, because they go to unqualified doctors or quack doctors to practice abortion for them. But anyway, let me share this screen. There's this group of women who are coming to help up with this, and also I hope it opens your eyes a little bit about this, because it has been happening, and sometimes it is we cannot blame sometimes women, because if you are raped, what are you supposed to do with that? You are raped. You don't want to keep the baby. Maybe this baby will be a reminder of the pain you went through. You don't want to keep it, of course. So sometimes you have to seek a legal abortion. But now this legal abortion, you have to pay a lot of money for you to go through it. So what happens is that you get the little money you are able to afford, and you go and get the abortion, maybe from a quack doctor, and you end up losing your life. Anyway, this is my screen. Let me get to share it, and also keep on telling me what you think about the story or the matter. And also you can keep on interacting with me. Remember, I am live and interactive on our media handles. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere at Black Hot Fire Network. Our WhatsApp line is also open, 0705 428 388.
Across the world, debates are raging about access to safe abortion. But without such access, desperate women resort to dangerous backstreet options. Complications from unsafe abortions are a leading cause of maternal death globally. In my home country of Kenya, where almost 2/3 of pregnancies are unintended, around 7 women a day die from unsafe abortion. Our 2010 constitution allows safe abortion in certain cases, but our much older penal code does not reflect this. And most Kenyans believe that abortion is illegal. This misconception and fear of social and religious condemnation mean that women are left with few choices.
They tell you the bad things which happen when you terminate the baby.
Some give birth only to struggle with another mouth to feed. Others try to end their pregnancies in dangerous ways. Linda Ngari, a journalist based in Nairobi. With over 2,000 of my fellow Kenyans dying from unsafe, responsible for this
classmates, schoolmates, found to have collapsed in washrooms because they were taking jik or tea leaves, trying to hide and terminate a pregnancy. And I remember just being terrified of ending up as one of those girls that were collapsing in the toilet. What if they died?
At school, we were taught to abstain from sex. Many organizations still preach that message to young people today. Youth for Christ Kenya is one of them.
Oh, we are all over the world. Actually, our headquarters for Youth for Christ is in America.
Monica Katale coordinates their crisis pregnancy ministry in Kenya. Thousands of so-called crisis pregnancy centers operate across the United States, where they are known for their anti-abortion agendas. More and more similar centers are appearing across East Africa. Monica is taking me to a new one opened by her ministry.
We are a Christian-based organization. We're trying to promote a life of sexual purity amongst the teenagers.
But with around 15% of Kenyan teenagers falling pregnant by the age of 19, that message is clearly not getting through. Monica and her ministry offer support to pregnant teens.
But can you blame the people who are getting pregnant at the age of 19? I don't think they are the ones to blame. One, these people or these young girls, maybe they are not well informed. They are not well educated about sex and everything. So sometimes it's not very right to blame it on them. Sometimes these girls, remember, we are in Africa where it's like nowadays to get sanitary towels, it's like luxury. most of young girls, they are finding it very hard to get sanitary towels. So if now you find a woman who is pregnant at the age of 19, maybe this girl was lied to by a man, an old man. Definitely, I'll get you pads and you'll have to do this for me. So this is what happens. So sometimes it's not even about the girls getting pregnant at a tender age, it's about the education. How many children are well enlightened about sex and teenage pregnancies? How well do they know if you do this and this, there are consequences to whatever you do? I believe there's a class that is always supposed to be there in school, not only high school, in every school, be it even nursery, because we start knowing our bodies when we are little. Even from a small child, you start teaching them how to blow their nose. So there's this class where you should be teaching children about self-awareness. You should be telling them, if you do this, there are consequences of this, because we cannot keep on blaming young girls or about now teenage pregnancies. There are also men who did this knowing very well this was a minor. This child or this young girl is not capable of giving birth, or maybe they are not even at the right age of bearing a baby. So who is held accountable for that? Nobody, because most of the time you'll find that now a man has gotten a woman pregnant and ran away. They will never be found. So who is to blame on such scenarios? It's not the girl. Sometimes these young women are raped, and this is why we're saying that now there should be, or in our constitution, thanks to our constitution, there's a legal ambiguity that supports now a woman can abort a child if maybe the case was a rape, incest, or maybe the life of the woman is being put in danger. But also we have now this now legal abortion becoming very expensive, to a point that yes, I have a legal right of aborting this baby, but at the end of the day, where do I get the abortion from? Because at the end of the day, if this is not offered in public hospitals and it is not cheap, where will I be able to get it? So even if the constitution supports this, at the end of the day, I end up suffering from it, and I might get, maybe I might end up dying, and also I might end up giving birth, and of which won't be on my favor. But anyway, let's continue with this video.
But with strings attached.
The main objective for us is to keep them, to save the mother and to save the child. So we are totally against abortion. We do not support abortion in any form or in any way. We offer another option of you can have the baby and give it up for adoption.
At least 1 in 3 women in Kenya has experienced sexual assault. Anyone made pregnant through incest, rape, or defilement should qualify for a legal termination if they want one. Kenyan law defines defilement as the offense of penetrating anyone under 18. Monica says her team often deals with such cases, but that they never condone abortion.
If you have a girl who's come to a center and she's in crisis pregnancy, we give them all the facts about abortion, adoption, and they still make that decision that they want to abort. We will not be part of that abortion in any way or form.
I want to know what Monica tells the girls about abortion, but before I can ask, we divert to a local clinic.
Tuko karibu kufika. One of our girls actually gave birth last night. It was in, I think, 2 a.m.
We're not showing Lucy's face to protect her. And like others in this film, we've changed her name. She only discovered she was pregnant at 5 months and ended up at Youth for Christ Center a few weeks later.
Uko na miaka ngapi? 17.
Yeah, so now after giving birth, we stay with her for some time, teach her some skills. If she needs to go through counseling, she'll go through sessions of counseling, and then we try and reintegrate her back to the society.
Imagine, this is a young girl who has given birth at the age of 17. This is barely the age of consent right here in Kenya. But who is the man who impregnated this woman? Because she didn't do the act alone. Who is the man?
The family.
Where is the man? You might want to blame the girl, but where is the man?
In the US, so-called crisis pregnancy centers or CPCs offer support to young mothers while trying to persuade them to keep their pregnancies. CPCs in Kenya follow a similar model, offering temporary housing, food, and some health services. Monica says that the girls at the center make up their own minds about their pregnancies.
Take baby home.
Their home for now is this CPC, where Lucy has been staying with around 15 other teenagers, either with her husband or with or waiting to give birth.
Most of us usually they can provide you a sanitary towel, but you pay in kind.
Monica says that after counseling, girls who had considered abortion usually changed their minds.
A lot of education needs to go around. I think give these girls more information about that process of abortion, not just tell them it's a quick fix, because it's not. You go to a quack doctor because it's illegal, because the methods they're using, it's quite scary.
Mm-hmm.
In Kenya, we girls grow up hearing frightening stories about abortion. But the World Health Organization describes it as a common health intervention when it's done safely. It's the unsafe procedures that are the problem, causing death and injury worldwide. And although men, women, and all girls under 18 should qualify under Kenyan law for safe abortion services, they struggle to access them. Across town, these activists are demonstrating for access to safe abortion.
Sisi tumetoka kuona wanawake na wasichana wakibakwa, wanapata mimba, wanatoa, wanakufa, na kuna sheria ambazo ziko zinafaa
One of the protest leaders is human rights campaigner Emily Kwamboka.
Personally, I'm a mother of two. My son is the one who made me what I am today. When I got pregnant for him, his father refused the pregnancy when he was 3 months old. And he gave me money to abort. So I had the choices, either to keep the baby or to abort. It's emotional. So I decided to keep it.
Not long ago, Emily had to terminate a pregnancy using unsafe methods while in an abusive relationship.
I've been through a lot of challenges. Sometimes the issues are so overwhelming. There's police brutality, there's unsafe abortion, there's gender-based violence. There's a lot of issues, a lot.
Emily invited me to a meeting that she's hosting with fellow activist Victoria Atieno. Neighborhood women have come to discuss issues that affect their lives.
Whether we talk about abortion or not, it will still happen. Because if a woman has decided that I don't want a baby, whether you do what or what, she will have an abortion.
But do you think this is right? This is not right, because when you are doing the act, if you are not raped, if your life is not in danger when you're going to give birth, why are you terminating a baby while you know very well that now these were the consequences of doing it, of having sex? You know, sometimes abortion is a crime. It's a crime, and it's a very, very punishable crime. But right now, it's like something, we have made it something very common to do. It's something that you can wake up and decide, I'm going, or even I'm like, you want to have raw sex and you're like, see, if I get pregnant, I'll terminate it, you know. And this is not right, because if we legalize this, or if we allow this, it will happen. And by the time we are realizing the damage, we will have lost a generation. And this is not right. It is not right saying that I was in an abusive relationship. Now I had to terminate the baby. Why? You know, where is the baby coming in in the abusive relationship. You just walk out and learn to stand on your own and work hard to make sure that now you're providing for the baby. And it is very clear in the Kenyan constitution that was revised in 2010. A mother is only allowed to abort if the baby was a result of rape or the health of the mother is in danger, or maybe the pregnancy was a result of incest. That is the only circumstance. But now, why do you want to continue doing it? And you know very well that you did the act, you got pregnant, and there were consequences. It is not right. We cannot keep on talking about abortion like it's a normal thing. It's not normal. It's not normal having women aborting right, left and center. It is not normal. But anyway, let us finish up with this video. I think we shall get to the 10th minute of it because it's a very long video. We shall not be able to finish it. But at the end of the day, let's learn something. This is the Wellness Wednesday with Katie. I hope you're learning something.
They normally come unplanned. You have another small kid, here's another baby, you're in an abusive marriage. So now you wonder, even the husband is not even responsible. Like right now, men are not responsible at all right now in Kenya.
Hapa Mathare, abortions zinafanyika. Na zinafanyika in unsafe ways. On a weekly basis, ama on a monthly basis, unapata, tumepoteza at least 2 women because of unsafe abortion.
We should not wait for the government to bring that solution, because as long as we wait, many of us will die in the process. You can't expect a ghetto person to access 15,000 or like 30,000 to secure an abortion.
Okay, personally, I feel like abortion is a class issue. Because sasa kama mimi mwanamke wa Mathare, siwezi manage kuprokiwa safe abortion. But a rich woman walk in an hospital vizuri kabisa because she's having enough money, and atoi ball kwa njia inafaa, unajua, then itafunikwa with the article of the constitution.
Kenya's 2010 constitution and case law permit abortion in certain cases, including in instances of sexual violence and if the life of the mother is in danger.
Our constitution allows abortion only when the well-being of the mother is in question. And the well-being is not just physical and biological, it's emotional and economic.
Amani to you too, General Mosquito. Thank you very much for joining.
I think it's about time that we understand the emotional burden of not having access to family planning, not empowering the woman so that she knows that she doesn't have to become a baby producing machine. She needs to have a child because she's ready, mentally, emotionally, financially.
But while our constitution allows it in some cases, there is room for interpretation, and Kenya's penal code still criminalizes abortion.
Our current penal code has 3 provisions regarding abortion. There are 3 crimes. There is a crime by the mother, there is a crime by the person who does the abortion, and then the one who supplies the instruments that are used to do abortion.
Charles Kanjama chairs the Kenya Christian Professionals Forum and helped to organize this anti-abortion march in Nairobi.
So we come today to commemorate the sacredness of all human life from the moment of conception in the womb for 9 months.
Kanjama's forum is an influential anti-abortion pressure group. They work closely with other religious organizations in Kenya and have strong links to the global anti-abortion movement. They also routinely go to courts to try and restrict access to safe abortion.
There's a contradiction between the penal code, which has been in effect since the colonial era, and Kenya's current modern constitution.
Yes.
So which one do you think should take precedence?
For us, we don't think there's any contradiction. We think they are aligned. I do not support an amendment of our laws to remove the crime of abortion.
Others are pushing to close the gaps in the law.
During the pandemic, we saw so many pregnancies. These are young kids. They didn't get pregnant because they wanted to. They didn't get pregnant because they planned to. They should not be penalized. The rich have an opportunity to take their children into 5-star hospitals and procure a safe abortion silently, without anyone knowing or speaking. But the poor have to struggle
In 2012, the Kenyan government published guidelines for health workers indicating when they are allowed to provide abortion services. But the guidelines were suddenly withdrawn the following year, and Kanjama's group wants it to stay that way.
You say you are basically advocating that there shouldn't be the training where medical doctors are taught how to provide safe abortion services. Is that right?
As our position is that whether abortion is safe or unsafe, first of all, the child always dies. So it is always unsafe for the child. And number two, you cannot train people to do something that is illegal in the country.
But critics tell me that it is simply not true to say that abortion is illegal in all circumstances. The Kenyan courts also ruled against Kanjama's reading of the law. The case has now gone to appeal. In the meantime, doctors say that all the legal confusion has led to a climate of fear.
We do have a lack of clarity and fear when it comes to providing the services to begin with, because of, again, the confusion in the law. Actually, no doctor is willing to talk about the whole situation openly.
It's a very slippery slope, depending on how the judge interprets the legality of the procedure that someone has done. It can go either way. That makes it very dangerous for health workers.
It also makes it nearly impossible for government facilities to legally provide safe abortion services. Dr. John Nyamu is one of Kenya's only doctors willing to talk openly about providing legal abortion services.
Unsafe abortion is rampant in Kenya because the law does not allow women, poor women, to access the services in the public sector.
And it's so bad. He's even saying poor women.
That is the main cause of the unsafe abortion.
Dr. Nyamu does offer safe and legal abortions to women and says he makes special provision for those on lower incomes.
Somebody who comes here and they are not ready to have a baby and their indication falls within the law, then we will be able to assist them, but we don't charge them what we charge the other people.
But he says he has been targeted for providing these services. In 2004, he was arrested and charged with murdering 2 fetuses. He spent a year in prison on remand before being found not guilty. His arrest and imprisonment shocked the medical community. He thinks it was politically motivated.
This was a setup by probably the anti-choice. I cannot be 100% sure because I did not see any other explanation.
Even Dr. Nyamu's clinic is out of reach for many. Most women can only afford backstreet clinics. Some try to abort on their own.
The ones who come with the post-abortion complication, most of them are young people. So the women actually start themselves, or they do it with an assistance of an untrained person.
Those who provide backstreet abortion services run the risk of arrest and imprisonment every day. I visited a clinic on the outskirts of Nairobi. The man who runs it tells me he is a clinical officer, but I can't find him on the official registry. He feels he provides a vital service.
We have the girls who are still going to school. You get others who are raped. You get someone who is not ready and they want to terminate it. We do help because they come for help. They need that help from us. Yes. So, second to that, we need money. Yes.
He charges a minimum of 2,500 shillings, which is around $18, to terminate a pregnancy.
How many abortions do you think you've done?
I can't tell.
All in all, we need to agree or disagree. Abortion is a crime. And it's only legal when maybe your life is in danger. Maybe the pregnancy was a result of rape or incest. We cannot say that now we have legal ambiguity of women being allowed to abort anyhowly, and it doesn't make sense at the end of the day. And also having this now legal ambiguity even in the constitution of women being allowed to abort their babies, I feel like yes, it is a right, but now please, in these hospitals, allow the women to have the procedures done there, because these women, okay, there's that they are not qualified for keeping the pregnancy, or they have some situations that are now they don't have to keep the baby. But what will happen? They will go to the backstreet clinics, and at the end of the day, you find that now they are losing their lives because they qualified for the legal abortion, but they went to the backstreet clinic. And it is so sad that we're losing so many young girls to abortions. It is so sad, and we need to agree. We need to fight this story of abortion. We need to fight it as young people, as elder people. We need to fight it at the end of the day, because abortion is killing a generation. That's killing a generation. But anyway, family, we are coming to the end of our show for today. That has been Wellness Wednesday with Katie. I hope you've learned something, or I hope you've learned a thing or two. And asanteni sana to all those who are with me. Shout out to Kid. You're saying, of course, it was a setup because you are in a very corrupt country. Very true. And yeah, that's happened all the time. It happens all the time. So at the end of the day, mind who you know, who you're talking to, and also who knows your business. But anyway, family, hope to see you later on to Bonge. I see the men are here looking me weirdly. Why are you not done with your show? But anyway, family, see you later on to Bonge. This has been Wellness Wednesday, and I'm leaving you with this jam. This is Rema. The jam is a woman.
Another banda. I'm in love with plenty women. I know my money, all of them. It no matter the shape of color. I go make sure say I must collect. I get one with be my sponsor. I get one with they call me honey. One with they do me witchy witchy. She they do like patience so Wale, color. Yes, in my room make you like on. Body they move like a python. Love with they giving me iron. Wale, color. After the room to the palace. Let me do post for my canon. Love with they boosting my iron.